I got an idea of sharing with YouTube viewers a lot of things that God tells me personally, unless it's some secret that God doesn't want me to share with other people. But I feel like it can really show people that God is a real God who speaks and who can have conversations with you. So this is one thing that he said slash did for me, which I thought was extremely loving. So I love fantasy games of all kinds, and Final Fantasy is very pleasant to me. So I played Final Fantasy X for a while, and every time I played it, it felt kind of boring for some reason. And I always had this feeling like there was something evil in the game. There was something not right, and I didn't know if that was God or not, but I kept trying to figure out if it was really evil or if it was my imagination, if I'm just paranoid. Some of the stuff my fiance would talk about. So I couldn't tell, but I just knew that it was boring, and it kind of felt like it was really slow, like the battle system and stuff. So I stopped playing for a while. And then for a long time, like about a year or so, I kept looking for a good game, a new game. Sorry, I'll turn off this music, it's probably bothering you. So I was looking for a nice new fantasy game to play, right? Something that is real-time battle, because that would be my favorite. And I didn't find any. Something kept being wrong with the games for one reason or another. I don't know why. I mean, there's different reasons. And then at the same time, my heart was kind of drawing towards Final Fantasy X-2, the second part of Final Fantasy, right? But that game was always a little too girly for me, so I didn't ever really feel like it was my type of game. But anyway, then finally one day I decided to try it out anyway, even though it's still not real-time battle. And when I turned it on, I was amazed just how much my heart was happy with it, just how much it resigned with my heart, just how much I liked it for different reasons that I listed off. Anyway, so I enjoyed it, right? And then I thought, well, I can't just play this game if I love it so much without knowing the whole storyline, because I never played through Final Fantasy X. So I thought I could watch movies on YouTube, cutscenes from Final Fantasy X, right? And I started watching it, and it didn't have the same negative feeling of vague evil that I was talking about while watching the movie that I had when I was playing the game. And so I felt like God was really with me watching the movie. I asked him, of course, and I felt like there was peace, right? So when I started playing the movie Final Fantasy X, I loved it so much that it made me want to play the game again. So I was really tempted to play the game again, and I tried to play it, and I still had the same vague feeling of darkness that I had before, and the same kind of sometimes feeling of this is boring. And at the same time, I was so wanting to play it, just because I love the storyline so much that I thought I just want to go through it, right? Because the game feels so much more adventurous than just watching the movie. So I tried, and all the while I kept struggling in my heart of whether to play it or not, because I wasn't sure if God allowed me to play because of that feeling of unsurety, whether it's good for my soul or not, And it was really vague, it was really strange, you see, because it wasn't clear of why not, Because, there's this Yevon religion that they had, in it, but that always felt like vagueness, like I'm not really influenced by that anyway. I didn't really care, so I was just confused. Anyway, so I just want to point out that I asked God several times, what should I do? What should I do? I was just like going back and forth, being confused as heck. At one point, I even threw lots, kind of like throwing dice, just like the old-fashioned way of trying to decide something, right? So I would throw these 3 rocks, see where they would land, and I said the green rock is to not play and the pink one is to play. Actually, it was the blue one to not play. So the first time I threw it, it was like so close to each other, right, that I had to actually measure with my hands which one was farther. And the not playing, no, the playing it rock was just a tad bit closer than not playing it. So I thought, okay, that's kind of silly. Why would God make it so obscure that way, right? So then I thought, okay, that's it. I gotta throw more rocks. So I threw those lots 3 times, and every time it said, after that one try, every time it said, don't play the game. So I thought, oh, that's it, that's God, that's definitely God. 3 strikes, I gotta not play it. So I turned it off, and I was like, that's it, I'm done. And I started watching the movie again, and got really tempted again. And I was just going crazy about my thinking, I'm not sure what to do anymore. And I thought, I'll throw the rocks one more time. Just to make sure, right? It's really silly. And this time it was the opposite. And it felt like God was just messing with me. Like, it's so silly for me to throw lots again when I threw them 3 times already. You know what I mean? Anyway, so I hope I'm really understandable. I feel like I'm confusing when I speak, so I'm gonna try to make it very short and logical for you, but I'm having a really hard time. Anyway, so through those lots, right, that was all messed up and strange, and I wasn't sure if that was random or God or not, whatever. But basically, I was struggling in my soul because I didn't know what God wanted me to do. I did not want to do something, no matter how enjoyable it was, without knowing that God is with me on it, and He can enjoy it with me, and He can love me with it. He could bless me with it. So I asked Him again, and I felt like on the verge of giving up. Like, I felt like I just wanted to let go, stop thinking, stop trying to figure it out, and just play. And it felt like I was being rebellious in that moment. It felt like I'm just so done. I just want to play, and then maybe if God is clear with me, then maybe I'll stop. Right now I just want to play. It's almost like I was just kind of deadbeat from overthinking, right? So I'm playing, right? And then a thought of enlightenment comes to me, that while I'm playing this game, it is so long, and it has never been truly fun. And because it's never been truly fun, and I know that it's not my style kind of game still, that it's really going to waste my time, my precious time that I could spend doing other things, like playing other fun games, or reading and writing, just doing the things that I love, or spending time with my boyfriend, right? And it felt like I'm going against myself if I'll be playing this. And I became so happy because I realized what God did for me in that moment. He redirected my my desire by showing me that it's really bad for me and not just for His sake, right? And I feel like that is like one of the most loving things that He's ever done for me, is just let me go in a way, and just kind of stop, just allow me to not think about Him and not be selfish in a way. It feels like he was like completely selfless. Like he was just loving me for me, and it was nothing about him in that moment. And I think that the truth is that it was always for my sake from the beginning, but he just wanted me to trust him without telling me all the reasons why, because that's just what he does a lot of times. But I didn't want to trust him, so instead he told me the truth of how it would be bad for me. And it felt like he just had such mercy on me. Like he just honored me in that way, that by showing me what is bad for my own sake. And it just felt like he I don't know how to describe it anyway, but I don't know if you even understand it exactly, but that's it. So I stopped playing the game, and I was really happy, feeling like I'm free. And it was also perfect timing because the friend wanted it back and stuff. I mean, the friend that gave me the game wanted it back and stuff. So it felt like, yes, this is what God wanted, and He just showed me, so that He just made it easier for me, is what I wanted to say. He made it easier for me to let go without making me be in the dark of why not. He explained to me of why I need to let go of that game, right? So I watched the movie, and I didn't feel the same feeling of evil or darkness or whatever. I felt peace watching the movie, and now I'm going to play Final Fantasy X2 and be very happy. And hopefully he'll teach me wonderful things through this godless game. Okay, I'll see you guys later.